So what does that path look like? How do you get started on that path to, like, let's say that your goal is to, be, we don't necessarily need to name a dollar figure, but you want to be wealthy, right? You don't want to have to worry about money. And, what would those initial paths look like that, you're working for someone, you have a W-2 job, maybe you have a 401k and, you've been putting money into that. What are some of those shifts or those transitions that you would need to make to be able to make it to, get to be considered wealthy?
Yeah, when I look back, right, and here's another thing that I think has kind of reshaped my thoughts on how to build wealth. So I talk to my clients and the families I advise a lot about um, taking control back, but reversing your financial plan. I think it's very
Mhm.
interesting that, we're kind of trained and coached to save, right? Save, save, save. And everybody used to ask me, geez, what's the number I need to feel comfortable?
Yeah,
Right. And it's all relative, right?
right.
Everybody's number is different. But it's to me a bit counterintuitive to save, 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 knowing the end result, the reason you're saving that pile of money, however big or small it is to create income in the end. So
Mhm.
you're going to wait until 30 years down the line and ride the ups and downs of traditional investments to hope that that pile of money matches your needs. And you really don't understand how the money is going to be sent to you in a paycheck. So I just started reversing that financial plan. We started buying investments that create income now, right?
Mhm.
We talk about buying your time back, right? So we
Mhm.
break down your time, in financial increments and how much do we need to save and where does that money need to be invested to create income now that you essentially don't have to work or make work optional and kind of do it that way, right?
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
opposite of what most people do. And if you look at the wealthiest families, that's why they invest in private real estate
Mhm.
that produces income, private businesses that produce income, right? So
Yep.
that's the basis of what we do. And then we build around that for liquidity, that type of stuff.
Got it. Got it. So is it fair to be able to say, you would evaluate the particular person's situation, how old they are, how much money they have to contribute or to invest, on an ongoing basis, and then you might recommend a few different types of vehicles to them, to be able to get them to wherever it is that they're looking to get to. And
Absolutely. Yeah. It's traditional in the sense that we still kind of analyze the person, the situation, the ability to save. The difference is the vehicles that we're using in the sequence that we use them is
Mhm.
much different than most people are coached up to do. Right.
Got
So
it.
we're not
Got
just
it.
finally putting it in a mutual fund or, something that you really have no control over. You probably don't understand in a lot of cases. Um, there's also a lot of peace of mind that comes from knowing what you own and why you own it
Yep. Yep. Yeah. That
and
makes.
producing first, right?
And now are you helping identify these opportunities, or is it all, like, is it essentially mutual funds, or do you have a network of, you know, business owners or real estate investors or what have you that you work with that, you can help generate that capital that they need to be able to do whatever the project is that they're looking
Exactly.
for?
Yeah, so I don't rely on packaged products, so to speak. Um, Again, a lesson learned is, if you want um, the most opportunity for your dollar, you go directly to the source.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
what I've done is kind of positioned myself and created a business model where I bring institutional level investments, but
Hmm.
direct ownership to the
Hmm.
individual investor. And our firm sits in the middle. I help guide that investor to the right risk return profile.
Yep.
And we're also doing all of the due diligence, all of the checks and balances that, if you're not in that world and don't have a team of analysts to do, it would be very hard to do
Yep.
the proper research to make sure your money's protected and invested properly.
Yep.
So I'm
Yep.
that quarterback in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Providing the opportunity and matching it to the right client.
Yeah, makes sense. And some of the results that that your clients have realized, right? So where they are today, basically, but I guess that's the question is, what did yesterday look like, and now what does today look like after working with your firm?
Yeah, it's so I started out knocking on doors,
Hmm.
right? Collecting small checks. Um, Built a book of business that was right around 1.3, 1.4 billion
Wow.
before I left. I walked away from that because I was sick of talking in historical averages and knowing that there's market declines coming, knowing that people weren't properly positioned, but I was kind of confined to what I could and couldn't do in that world, my previous world. And I would get all the time, people would say, man, if I could just make 6%, 7% consistently, I'd sign up for that all day long.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I offer investments that generate
To return that.
7 to 10% income consistently.
Yep.
You know, with principal protection and the ability to appreciate on the upside.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we base our assumptions on, is that income number. And we could talk all day about what averages mean versus a consistent return.
Yeah.
Right. And people, very often people in my world, you're taught to explain performance based on historical averages, not the actual dollars and cents, right? Not what really happened in the account.
Yeah. Yep.
Averages sound better.
Yep.
We don't do that, right? We work on consistent income producing returns, and then the upside appreciation is a bonus.
Yep.
But if we
Yep.
protect your principal and give you consistency, that's what we can actually plan on. That's what you can live on.
Got it.
That's how we do it.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. This is fantastic. If people want to learn more about you, your services, what would be the best way to reach out and get in touch?
Yeah, I appreciate that. My firm is Cornell Capital Holdings with an S. So the website is simply cornellcapitalholdings.com.
Excellent. Excellent. Dana, this is fantastic. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you and different things that you might be interested in investing in. We play in the real estate space ourselves. You mentioned that not necessarily interested in multifamily, but we've got quite a few different properties that we're actively purchasing. So who knows, maybe we can do business at some point someday.
Let me know what you're up to. Absolutely. You
Yeah.
know, it's, again, the same thing goes on the real estate side, right? I can make general statements about subsets of the market, but it's the individual opportunity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Makes
So,
perfect sense. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Dana, this is
Awesome, man.
fantastic. We will be in touch shortly.
All righty. Hey, Matt, thanks, man. Appreciate you having me on.